3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Stephon Gilmore. Intended that time for Cooper. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Now the leading rusher for the Pats last year is a rookie, Sony Michel. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Ready? Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush. Hey, both 66.
Shotgun now for Brady. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Tough spot for the Pats now after the sack as Brady will lead them up 3rd and long.
Watch the run. It's sock, baby. That's a baby sock. Mark 55. Mark 55.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down.
Here's our 46. 56, Mike, 56. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. 46.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Here's Dorsett. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Patriots take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On second down, Michelle. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. Well, there's no shortage of great young runners in the NFL, but don't forget about that guy, Sony Michel. First-round pick in 2018. Almost hit 1,000 yards as a rookie, 931 to be exact, to go along with 6 scores for the former Georgia Bulldog. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Hold the look, hold the look, hold. Alert! Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Alpha!
Play action. Now it's Brady. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On 3rd and long, it's Brady. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well.
That is how you flip. Field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
At the 11-yard line.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. We're scoreless after one. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. Draw play, Elliott. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Will Fuller, 82 yards, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, the game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Shadow! Bravo! Hey, 66!
Throwing on second down. Brady into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This is taken at his 4. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. He sets to fire deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
From the gun, it's Brady. And that is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 24-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Patriots going with a dime package here. 2 extra defensive backs on third. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He finds his target, Fuller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
And he spins away. It'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. The 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Tackles, tackles.
Here's Brady. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Tough spot for the Pats now after the sack as Brady will lead them up 3rd and long.
Check, 55.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
Okay, double up, double up, double up, double up. 55 is my guy, 55. Check, 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 check. Slam, slam, slam. Check, check, boy.
Ready to hit.
From the gun, Brady. And he's going to go down again. DeMarcus Lawrence, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Here's Ryan Allen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now Austin. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
at their own 40-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Here we go, 47.
Here's Prescott. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He just joined the double-digit party with that last pick. He now has 10 on the season.
And that takes a great amount of skill, study, a tad bit of luck. But bottom line, he's had a heck of a season.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
Mark down back at his own 40-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Hey, one set, 72.
Back near his goal line. Here's Brady. Caught on the right side by Dorsett. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
I got him. Back to mine. I got him.
Hey, Alabama.
Mike 55. Mike 55. Mike 55.
Wait, 28. 72.
Operating from the gun. Brady. He hits right. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now, how many times have we seen that? Third down, and Tom Brady turning to old reliable Julian Edelman. Of course, no Rob Gronkowski now. Edelman, the main holdover, the 33-year-old who was a Super Bowl MVP last season.
No, 66. Check it.
Throwing on first down is Brady. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw, it's Brady. His throw incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Alert!
Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Go.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike.
53 Linda.
54.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Brady. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
Come on now, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Derek Rivers make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. They don't want to repeat a 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he will finally be taken down. Heck of a run there, though the clock continues to roll. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to have a 1st down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Prescott now. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, this is fielded a couple yards deep. Uses the spin. And a very nice return up to the 35, but was it aided by something illegal? Let's find out. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. They stay on the ground. This time it's Michelle. And he's got room. He's got daylight. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots make some inroads here on that deficit. And now it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Let's go.
So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Gotta do better.
Again, it's Elliott. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League.
46, 46.
56. Mike's 56.
Going to 53.
Let's see what you got.
26.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
We got 3.
Going to 54, going to 54. Wide in.
Check.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, going to 54, going to 54. Wide in. 26.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
We're going to 53.
Here's Elliott. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game could really benefit your team right now.
Throwing. Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Elliott. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 39.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
17 yards. And a Cowboy 1st down.
Here we go, 56. Here we go, going to 54, going to 54. Wide in.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Slash.
Here we go, going to 53.
Switch.
26.
And they get this to Austin. It's a jet sweep. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Now Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They need to reverse the trend. The last two plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year. Franchise rookie record for Dallas en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. The throw on second down by Brady is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Brady. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, He's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. Back now in Foxborough. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Tough spot for the Pats now after the sack as Brady will lead them up 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Brady. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Mike Hughes came crashing in that time, got the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Going to take a shot for Gallup. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, able to avoid him. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Edelman was the intended target.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
On second down, Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
All right. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Now Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing too.
Oh, she's singing.
She's on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Watch the slant. Tighten up. Mike's 54.
Hey, check it.
Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Shadow.
On 1st down, Brady. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Tough spot for the Pats now after the sack as Brady will lead them up 3rd and long.
Sugar.
From the gun, Brady. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
At their own 12-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations...
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Hey, 47. 26.
Prescott off play action. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Let's go.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Brady now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead, and unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
But that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And fighting down inside the 25. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
56, right there, 56. Not today, you are. Not today.
On play action, Prescott. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Prescott to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. Does the big boy have the juice?
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Brady now to throw. Now a desperation throw deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Dallas, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll host their annual Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. Meanwhile, for New England, it's a disappointing way to lose your first game as they drop to 10-1 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.